Swami
Hare
Parivrajaka Jaya Shishimad Go Govinda Swami Shri Gurudeva Ki Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Jaya Shishimad His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Jaya Shishimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Nam Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Pamsikoho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shri Vasudeva Shri Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakund Radhakund Giri Govardhana Ki Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Shri Mayapur Navadvip Dham Ki Shri Kshetra Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Ganga Maya Ki Jamuna Maya Ki Bhakti Devi Ki Tulasi Maharani Ki Shri Shri Gauranitai Ki Shri Shri Krishna Balaram Ki Shri Jagannath Baladev Lady Subhadra Devis Ki Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Ki Shri Shri Radha Gopal Ju Ki Shri Shri Radha Madhava Ki Samaveda Bhakta Binda Ki Premanam Sankirtan Jagi Ki Vantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Gaura Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna. Om Jnana Timirandasha Gunanjana Shalakaya Shindratam Janatasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hare Krishna. Oh, you built something. Wow, you guys are getting, they're good, huh? Hare Krishna. No, you can speak to them. Yeah, but then you can just relax a little. Hare Krishna. How's everyone this morning? You feel good? Doing better? After our discussion about the nature of the prison house yesterday? All the Rajashis, they're coming establishing Krishna's system, Daivivanashram. And because they're devotees, they have potency, they know how to manage, they have intelligence from Brahman Vaishnavas. They know exactly what's going to satisfy and please Krishna. And if you please Krishna, you water the root of the tree, then all the other branches, leaves, fruits, flowers, everything else automatically is satisfied. So no, you don't have to try to satisfy the people, you don't have to try to satisfy the forefathers, you don't have to try to satisfy the demigods, or the government, or any of these people. Just water the root of the tree by doing bhakti, devotional service. That Sanatan Dharma means bhakti. And if we do that, then Krishna is satisfied, everyone will be satisfied, including ourselves. So Krishna is giving that Daivivanashram system, how, which is perfect system, how conditioned souls can gradually purify themselves under guidance, protection of Krishna's system, Daivivanashram, under guidance of bona fide spiritual master, and the Vaishnavas, Brahmanas, guiding Kshatriyas, giving them purified intelligence. Then that nice combination between the spiritual intelligence and the strength and the managing administrative ability of Kshatriya, that combination will give everybody engagement in devotional service according to their psychophysical natures, and therefore everybody is accordingly engaged in devotional service. And then if anyone is not serious, or anybody is becoming disturbance to the execution of that devotional service, then they are executed or excommunicated out of the society, and that's good for them as well. Otherwise they're just committing aparad, and criminal activity, and they'll have to suffer that karmic reaction anyway. And so therefore, they know how to manage nicely the society. What is it, Ram Raj? Is that right? So it's like a perfect running system. And ultimately, where Krishna's in the center, that's a really perfect communism, because Krishna's in the center, and everything and everyone belongs to Krishna. Krishna says everything is emanating from me. It's all of my energies, superior, inferior, eternal, temporary manifestations. He's the seed-giving father of all the living entities. Therefore, every living entity is created to engage in that, to be engaged in that devotional service. So Krishna sets up perfect system. He also sets up the perfect personalities who can execute that system. And then they're trying to engage everybody in that system of Daivivanasha, which basically in the Kali Yuga especially, it means crying for Krishna. Right? Somehow or other, hearing and chanting about Krishna, taking Krishna prasadam, engaged in purification process, general instructions of Krishna to the Guru, and specific instructions as everyone has a seva according to their psychophysical nature, according to Daivivanashram system. So Krishna makes a perfect system. The human life is meant for that purification, is meant for that gradual elevation from tamagun all the way to liberated platform, Brahmabhuta Prasanatma. That's what Krishna's system is, even in this world. So Krishna's not making it the way that it is. It's just that we're not following, and the so-called leaders are not following that system. And because of that, they're disconnected from a perfectly running system. And that's why when it goes off, then Krishna says, that's why I come to reestablish religious principles. Because periodically, it goes off. Especially as the ages get more and more degraded. And also when the Lord wants to come himself and speak Bhagavad Gita, then he reestablishes the truth himself. So the Parampara is always there. And either Krishna's coming or Krishna's devotees are coming to speak the truth and to constantly remind us of what is that perfect system based on the Vedic culture, based on the Bhakti Siddhanta. And in that way it purifies us, reminds us what is the only solution and to execute the purpose of the human form of life. And by not understanding, not agreeing, not following, not listening, then Krishna said, then you're lost. And what does lost mean? Means ignorance, uncontrolled mind and senses, engaged in sinful activities. Sinful activities means sinful reactions. The sinful reactions, the karma pala, is the very root of why we are in a suffering condition. If we execute bhakti properly in the Sanatana Dharma system, Daivivanashram system, then all of the sinful desires and the sinful thoughts and the sinful reactions will, Krishna says, will be destroyed. So only by pure devotional service, only by surrendering to Krishna, does Krishna agree to purify us, to show special mercy. Krishna says, I purify all of the tamagun, all of the ignorance, which is the root cause of the suffering condition, and all the sinful reactions, which is why and how we're suffering. Krishna says, I'll get rid of that for you, I'll destroy that for you, yes? He just has like his hand just naturally goes up, like, right? He has question. What's the other? Problems and questions. It's just like a kind of like a nervous reaction. He just goes like this, you know. And then he has to be like, oh, maybe do I have a question to follow that, you know. So this is a perfect system. And by not understanding it, Krishna said, then you're lost. And then you're just groping in the dark. Then Maya, Sergey, are you happy? Are you peacefully listening? You want to fight me? You sure? I'm a little too old now. If I was younger, I wouldn't mind. I like a good fight, no problem. But now I'm old, so only I can talk philosophy. That's what old people do, right? They talk philosophy. Otherwise, what is the purpose of them? Right? They're just, what do they say? They're just, eating the oxygen and the...
Useless eaters.
Huh?
Useless
Yeah, they
eaters.
call them useless eaters. So you're just taking grains and the milk products and oxygen and some space. So there needs to be some kind of contribution. That's why they're starting to think like, do we really need these people, And if it's Vana Shankar, it's all unwanted population anyway. Right? You don't mind like feeding them and keeping them alive and giving them some oxygen and water, like if they're doing some beneficial work. Right? But when they're not doing anything, then everyone starts to say, if they naturally go of their own accord, then that's life, But actually they're jobbing everybody, they're like... Oh my God. So, so this is a very dysfunctional world that we're living in, and it's really coming out like that, because Prabhupada says everybody is blind, and because the people are blind, the leaders are blind, then the people are also blind, they're also ignorant, so it's the blind leading the blind into the ditch. And sometimes we talked about suffering as a motivation to surrender, as a very good motivation to surrender. And if we cannot perceive the suffering, and neither we have an interest in pure loving devotional service, then what is the motivation? So a person came to my room yesterday, and he said, I have so many problems, so many questions. And then I said, are you crying to Krishna? And he said, well, I'm praying. And I said, that wasn't my question. I said, are you crying to Krishna? And he said, no, not really. So if we're not crying to Krishna, it means we're not that serious. So therefore, why do we think Krishna will answer our question? And whatever the problem is, it's because of our karma, right? So if we don't surrender to Krishna, there's no relief or release from the karma, from the sinful activity and sinful reaction. So there's no relief from the suffering due to ignorance. So yes, okay, I said you're recognizing you have problem, and I keep trying to tell him, you have to convince Krishna to help you, to give you intelligence. But you're just saying, well, I'm praying. But when I say, well, how serious is the prayer? And that usually happens when, there's nothing coming to me like I'm supposed to answer this person's question. Because normally I'm thinking, okay, I want to try to be helpful. But when I'm thinking, okay, I'm trying to be helpful, Krishna's saying that the person's not really asking me. So then, if we're not really asking Krishna, and we don't really want to hear what his answer is, then what exactly are you expecting me to answer? How do you think I'm going to help you with whatever you think your problem is? If you don't convince Krishna you want to surrender to Krishna, we're not going to get free from the karma, from the sinful desires and the sinful reactions, which is causing all of the ignorance and all of the suffering condition. So he wanted to just go around that point and just said, no, I need a guru, to ask questions to help me to solve the problem. And I said, even if someone could answer your question, it's not going to work, because what makes it work is that Krishna agrees. So you could give him a perfect answer, but without surrender to Krishna, and without that faith and surrender to those instructions, it's not going to work. I remember my Gurudev used to say, if you have one tinge of doubt, it won't work. And I said, wow, what a standard is that? One tinge of doubt? Right? You know, it's like, okay, if you have 5 or 6 doubts, okay, it's not going to work. But a tinge of doubt? And it's not going to work? So what kind of standard is that? It's a very high standard. That means we're not trusting Krishna. We're not wholeheartedly trusting Krishna. We're hesitating, we're doubting, we're flinching. And so that's proving that we're not trusting Krishna. And without trusting Krishna, then why will Krishna say? And then he tells us, and we say, oh, I don't like that answer. I don't like that instruction. So look, okay, I'll try. Are you all right? What's your question today? You have a question? Yeah. What's your question? What's your concern? Huh?
There's some magic.
Nothing.
No, something. What is it? What's your question? What are you thinking about? Nothing? You're not thinking about anything? Anything we're talking about last few days? Or what we're talking about today?
I was thinking about that I don't have full faith in Krishna, maybe.
You don't have what?
Full faith in Krishna.
But he doesn't have full faith in Krishna. Not yet.
So that's proving the point. So if we're not trusting Krishna, then why do we need a guru who's just going to tell us what Krishna wants us to do? So if we don't have enough faith in Krishna to cry to Krishna and depend on Krishna and try to hear Krishna's answer, then why you need a via medium? Why you need a guru? We don't really want to hear Krishna's answer. And if the whole point is, what will Krishna tell us that we can do that Krishna will accept as an act of surrender? Because Krishna says, if you do what I want you to do, if you work for me, that activity will purify you and liberate you. And any other thing that you try to do, that you speculate or create for yourself, then that will contaminate you and not get you out of this action-reaction. It will not free you from karma bandhana. So we talked the other day, the ultimate purpose is how do you get free from suffering condition due to this karma. So it's not like an interesting kind of esoteric kind of discussion. When we're desperate, right? You saw Gurudev's quote of the day? Gurudev quoting from Sanatana Goswami, right? Yeah, Sanatana Goswami. Gurudev is saying in Hari Bhakti Vilas, Sri Sanatana Goswami has said, Avaishnavo Padishtan Mantrena one should receive mantra from bona fide authorized Guru and Parampara. I was actually going to quote another thing, but this is what's coming up. One should not take a mantra from Avaishnava. Who is Avaishnava? One who is Stri Sangi, one who's attached to women, and who is not devotee of Krishna. If someone takes a mantra from a Vaishnava, he goes to hell. Therefore, according to Guru Sadhu Shastra principle, one should take a mantra only from bona fide Vaishnava Guru in parampara. So the point is, we have to see, we talked about the other day, that what is the result that we're getting? What are we trying to achieve? What is the process? What is the result? So we don't need, a guru. Prabhupada said, you need the guru. We don't need an answer. We need the answer. So that means we need Krishna to give us exactly, decisively, what he wants us to do. That's what it means, the answer, not an answer. The Guru means that Krishna delivering that answer through bona fide authorized Guru and Parampara. That means the Guru. There's all kinds of Gurus. It's not a Guru. As Prabhupada said, the principle is the Guru. So bona fide authorized Guru in Parampara. But Prabhupada said this principle of Guru Tattva and understanding Paramatma Tattva and Parampara is very, very difficult to understand it. Who can really understand the most difficult philosophy? We said, Prabhupada was saying even Vidura other day, such elevated, pure Vaishnava, he's also making inquiry about these tattvas, about the subtlety, beyond subtlety nature of these topics. So even Vidura is trying to understand what are these tattvas. And we're sitting here saying, okay, we all understand all the tattvas because we read the books and we're doing sadhana and we've already understood everything. So we're not even realize how we're deaf, dumb and blind. And then what is the reality of our condition? And then how greedy, how anxious are we to find an actual solution? Then you need bona fide Guru. But if we're doubting Krishna, naturally you're going to doubt the Guru. Then you're going to doubt the instruction coming from the Guru. And as soon as some difficulty comes in the execution of that service, it's not because of Guru and Krishna giving you the right information, it's because we're hesitating and doubting it. We're letting the demons of doubt, Maya, come in. Therefore, we externally might be doing it. But inside we're like, is this really what Krishna wants me to do? And as long as it's everything you want to do, then it's, oh yes, Guru's very nice, he's sanctioning everything, he's giving nice instruction, I'm getting all the benefits, I'm enjoying, everything going nice. And then when they start to checking you, they start adjusting you, they start challenging you, they start confronting you, they start cutting, chopping, false ego, or giving you instruction which is something you don't want to do, or you never even thought about doing. Now we're like, oh, I have to just go slow, and I just have to be careful. This sounds now, I don't know, now I'm a little nervous, now I'm doubting. We weren't doubting before. So mental platform means accepting and rejecting. One day you're accepting, yes, 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 yes. It's coming from Krishna. He's a bona fide guru. Instruction is right. It's according to Guru Sadhana and Shastra. Then the next day we're like, I don't know. Now I'm doubting Krishna. Now I'm doubting the Guru. Now I'm doubting, what am I doing here? What is my place here? Right? So this is that's why I said, this is what's going on with you. So if Krishna's in your heart, you see, so he knows exactly what we're thinking. He knows exactly how Maya is attacking us. He knows everything. Right? The Guru is not the Supersoul. He's working on behalf of the Supersoul. So if Krishna, as the Paramatma Supersoul, doesn't give the Guru intelligence and understanding, then how can he help you? So when I asked, do you have any question, do you have any problem? You're like, no. Any thought? No. Right? But Krishna's telling, these people they're listening to their stupid minds, like Sergei. Right? He's looking uptight, he's thinking he's very smart. He's trying to analyze me and what I'm saying. Who is this guy? What's his motivation? Right? What's his faith in Krishna? What's his surrender? How surrendered is he? What's his motivation? Why is he sitting up there spouting off some jnana and calling it Vijnana? Right? Because Maya is still playing there. Still attacking, constantly attacking. Now we have to defeat it. That's why we have constant questions. That's why we have constant doubts, because Maya is just constantly attacking. If we are strong in our faith, in our realization, in our intelligence, we'll just preach to ourselves. But because we aren't, and we're not able to do that, we need Krishna through the Guru, through devotees to preach to us. And if we're open enough and we're trying to understand it enough and we're humble enough, then it's possible to help you. If we're like faking that we're asleep, we're acting crooked way, we're not being simple, we're not praying to Krishna. Right, you're sitting there, should I listen to this person? Should I accept what is he telling? Why don't you ask Krishna? Right, I told you, I hardly ever ask my Guru a question. I had thousands of questions. Every day I had questions. Every day I had doubts, and especially in the beginning. And I know Krishna knows what is doubt. And we should be praying to Krishna. Krishna, oh, this is my question. How do I understand this? Oh, Krishna, this is my doubt. How do I overcome this doubt? We have no connection to Krishna. We're not praying and crying to Krishna. We're not depending on Krishna. So where is the intelligence and faith going to come from? Where do you think it's going to come from? Just like from the sky? So we're not trusting Krishna, we're not depending on Krishna, we cannot hear Krishna, we're lost. Because of false ego. So then Maya is just sitting there, whatever Maya making you think, whatever Maya making you feel, whatever Maya affecting your emotion, then we're just like, what to do? I'm like, we're victims. Today I'm just victim. Because we don't want to surrender to Krishna? We're hesitating? We're doubting? Then Maya steps right in. Okay, you don't want to serve Krishna? Well, here's what I think you should do. Now we become servant of the uncontrolled mind and senses. We're either hearing Krishna's instruction or we're hearing Maya's instruction. We're hearing. We're surrendering. But the question is, are we intelligent enough to realize whether we're hearing, and is it based on surrender to Krishna, or is it Maya? Are we conscious enough to realize that? So if we don't have unflinching faith in Guru and Krishna, how can you put unflinching faith in the instruction? And then how can you counter Maya's intelligence controlling your intelligence, mind and senses? How will you know that there's another answer which is coming from Krishna? If we're not asking Krishna, all you know is Maya. That's why Prabhupada said 99% of the people, all they know is their body and their mind. That's all they're listening to. So that's why I was telling this devotee, you want a guru, you want to help, you want to get answers, you want to solve your problem. But if you don't convince Krishna that you're ready to hear his answer, and to put faith in it, and to try your best to execute it, I can't say anything to you. You won't accept anything from me. Why did I accept the instruction from my guru? It's because Krishna convinced me that was his instruction. That's why the only instruction to the guru, who's a purifier medium of Krishna, is, Gurudev, please, can you help me to understand decisively and specifically what does Krishna want me to do? How can I serve him? That's the only question. If we're not prepared to ask that question and hear that answer and execute and surrender to those instructions, you don't need a guru. We just act as our own guru. Now the question is, if we're really suffering, and we realize we're suffering, us acting as our own guru only makes it worse. So what's going to make us not try to act like our own guru? We're coming up with all kinds of spiritual things we can do. Places, people, seva, right? But is it coming from Krishna? That's the question. You ask Maya, how can I serve Krishna? And Maya said, well, there's all kinds of services everyone's doing for Krishna. You can do this and this and this and that. You can go to the temple, you can take darshan, you can go chant, you can go study the Shastra. Oh yes, Maya is giving good instruction. But what makes it spiritual? Has to come from Krishna, and it has to be done for Krishna. And Krishna says, if it's coming from me and you do that for my pleasure, that instruction will purify you and liberate you. And any other thing that you think of, or any other actions or activity or service that you do that didn't come from me and it's not being accepted by me, will just keep you in karma bandhana. So you can find a guru to give you some answer and give you some seva, right? They have a lot of temples, a lot of needs. They have help wanted section, right? Pujaris needed, cooks needed, drivers needed, construction people. There's all kinds of seva. There's all kinds of gurus asking for all kinds of seva. Right? You build all these temples, you need a lot of seva. Right? So you go and do that seva. Is that seva, did that come from Krishna? Because only bona fide authorized guru in parampara can give you mantra, can give you seva that Krishna will accept. You want to do seva and you want to chant mantras and you want to think that that's absolute and it's spiritual, go for that. But ask yourself, is it effective? Is it working? Is it solving the ultimate problems? And if it's not, something's wrong. If we're doing everything perfectly right, we should be getting perfectly right answer, perfectly right results. So results are not right. That means we're doing something's wrong. Now we have to investigate what's wrong. Right? Just like a mechanic, like when you go into the shop. You say, oh, my car needs some work. And they always say, well, what's happening? Tell me all the symptoms. Well, it's coughing and it's shaking and it's making some noise. I cannot go over, 30 miles an hour. It's sucking down all the gas. Right? It's sucking out all the gas, but I can't move forward. That's a problem. Cars aren't supposed to work like that. We're not mechanics. Then you got to go to a mechanic. Someone who's expert mechanic. I don't know what's wrong with it. Sometimes you go, I don't know what's wrong with my car. But I can see by how it's acting that something's wrong with it. So the body is like a vehicle, a machine. So how well is that machine working? We're the driver of the machine. Are you liking the performance of your vehicle? We have to be intelligent. And we have to understand, okay, not getting the results. Why? So, only two things required to get the good result. Mercy of Krishna, right? And the mercy of the Guru. Prabhupada said 2 mercies are required. So if we're not getting a good result, it means somehow or other we're not getting those 2 mercies. That's all it means. Now, why are we not getting those mercies when we think we deserve mercy? That's another problem. These are all very, very subtle points. And we're deaf, dumb, and blind. We have no real qualification. We don't have any real experience. We don't know what's going on. We not trust anybody. We cannot hear from anybody. And we're just sitting there trying to figure it out. Right? When you're really sick and you're trying all the different, grandma said to take this and that, and you're trying like all these different things, right? And your friends, everyone's telling you some medicine, some treatment, right? So okay, I'm sick, So then you're going to try all of these things. Okay, everybody loves you, they all like you, they're all trying to help you, they're all giving advice, they're all giving medicine, they're all giving opinion, right? But are you getting well? That's why Prabhupada's asking this question. Are you sufficiently advancing in your spiritual life? Why are we hesitating? Why are we doubting? Why do we not have faith? We should be asking those questions. Do we have all those answers? Even these older devotees yesterday, they're very nice. They have very nice, sincere desire to understand what's happening. Some nice realizations as well. Especially about their life and what they've had to go through. But they don't understand why it's like that. Why is it like that? So they had so many questions, so many doubts. Right? 20, 30 years, 40 years of acting like devotee. Listen, having guru, listening to gurus, going to the class every day. But they have very deep-rooted doubts. I don't understand why this is happening like this. How can this, you can see the pain, the emotion, the feeling, that how this happened to our country, how this happened to our people, how this happened to our family. Right? 20, 30 years later, they're emotionally affected and disturbed. And because they don't understand the philosophy, they don't understand the science of it, it's bewildering. Somebody recently sent me an email that their son died in China. And Mataji was very disturbed. This doctor who chants nicely. You know? Amba? What's her name? Chow? Not so. Small one. She was in the military. She worked in medical field.
Chu Mataji.
Chu Mataji. Very nice person. She's come to India many times. Also, they came to Russia as well to our program. But she was very upset because somehow or other her young son, who has granddaughters chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra very enthusiastically, and then the son just dies. And she's saying, what am I doing wrong? That Krishna did this to my son. And then they don't want to chant, their whole faith, how can this happen? Because they become so emotionally upset. And if we don't understand scientifically, then how do you overcome that emotional, mental disturbance? Everyone has their own karma. Everyone is responsible for their own karma, their own actions, decisions, and also the reactions that we deserve. Whether pious or impious, good or bad, that's our accumulation. No one's living for someone else's karma. You see? So all these governments, all of these systems, the whole thing is faulty, the whole thing is demoniac, because none of it's for Krishna. Everything's at fault, everyone's at fault. They're blind, the leaders are blind. The fools are voting the leaders in as the leaders. And then they're creating all of these different policies and agendas, dropping bombs, creating wars, everybody's dying, everybody's suffering. How can God allow this to happen? Well, Krishna, he said, I've given, in this life, I've given you this Daivi Varnashram system. And I've come and established the Vedas and the purpose of the human form of life. This is how you can gradually purify yourself in that Sanatan Dharma. And in this way, you can purify yourself and become liberated and ultimately go home back to Godhead. So even in this world, Krishna has given a perfect system, a perfect knowledge, a perfect Daivivanashram system, all of the association, guidance, instructions, right? Krishna says how to live your life peacefully from a material point of view, so you're peaceful enough to execute devotional service and therefore ultimately become liberated, go home back to Godhead. Now, if we don't want to listen to Krishna's instructions due to this false egos, and want to maintain, demoniac mentality, desires, qualities, behavior, then we're going to create a place that the demons live. It's going to be hell on earth. That's not the way Krishna wants it. Even in our own life, if we will just cooperate and agree, we become peaceful and happy. If everyone in the family, the community, agrees, everyone becomes peaceful and happy. But when there are individuals, or if we ourselves don't agree, and we don't cooperate, and we're doubting, and we're influenced by this demoniac conditioning, then we create a misunderstanding, and then from the misunderstanding, all the chaos, all of the havoc, all of the destruction comes. Wake up. So our Gurudev said, if you don't understand something, then that's all right. You can get answers for all of that. Krishna devotee will help you. Shastra will help you. But if you misunderstand it, because you're listening to your stupid mind, then you're going to create complete chaos for yourself. And all destruction, all suffering, all disturbance will come to you and your family, everybody in your life. Because you're still listening to it. You're still surrendered, still a servant of uncontrolled mind and senses, which is being controlled by Maya. And unless we understand what Krishna wants from us, and unless we agree to cooperate and try to execute those instructions, general instructions, specific instructions, there's no surrender to Krishna. And then we're suffering according to our karma, or we're committing aparad. Nama aparad, Vaishnava aparad, Seva aparad, Dhamma aparad. So it's either karmic reaction or aparad. But it's still some punishment. Mind, senses, everything will become out of sync, will become diseased, and we'll have to suffer. Mentally, physically, emotionally. So although they're long-term devotees, they've been around since Moses. Even he looks like he could have been with Moses. They have a basic fundamental misunderstanding of the philosophy. But they're just simple enough and honest enough to verbalize it. So then Krishna's devotee can help them to get some answer, some understanding, some different way of understanding it. And then if it's right information and it's Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, and they're still simple enough and eager and greedy enough to try to understand it properly, then you can get a proper understanding. If we're just crooked, we cannot hear anything, we cannot put faith, we remain in this false ego platform, lost, not even knowing we're lost, and just listening to this stupid mind. Who's going to help you? Even Krishna cannot convince you. And why? Because we don't want to be convinced. We need doubts so we don't have to surrender. Because then if you have doubts, it's like, whoa, I'm just being intelligent. Because I have doubts. So Krishna cannot overturn your doubt? He cannot answer your question? Guru Sadhu and Shastra cannot clear your doubt and answer your question? You don't believe and have faith that Krishna can do that? Yeah, you have no faith. And because of that, we're listening to Maya instead of Krishna. And then Krishna is not purifying, controlling mind and senses to the point that we can hear perfect knowledge from perfect source, and then we go on with our misunderstanding, our crookedness, no simplicity. And then our excuse is, I have doubts. Right? When your devotees say, how's it going? Well, I'm having some doubts. Oh, you're intelligent, you have doubts. Right? But really it's a type of cheating. Because we don't want to hear from Krishna. Because we're not being simple. And because we're trying to keep our false prestige, we want to be legends in our own minds, and we're projecting ourselves like we're somebody, then we cannot say, well, actually, I'm so crooked and so unserious and not really serious about surrendering to Krishna. That's the root of my problem. But we won't say that. We'll say, I'm sincere, I'm trying, I'm praying, I'm doing everything, but for some reason I'm just doubting this guru, this process, Krishna. So I'm intelligent. We're getting cheated by the doubts because we're cheating. And it's very difficult to understand. Because if we're depending on Krishna and not cheating, then Krishna will clear your doubts and answer your questions. So again, it's not working because two mercies we're not getting. Mercy of Krishna and mercy of Guru. But are we saying I must be acting in such a way that I'm not getting mercy of Guru and Krishna? Are we taking the blame for that? Are we taking responsibility for that? Or are we acting perfect and I'm doing everything from my side, but this Guru, these devotees, the situation, it's all suspect. It's not working. Who can stop you from getting mercy from Guru and Krishna? If everything material platform is faulty, everything and everybody is faulty. But if you deserve mercy from Guru and Krishna and from the Shastra, you're going to get the mercy. So why we're not getting mercy? Who's responsible for that? Why listening to stupid mind? Are you happy? Yesterday you were happy. Day before you were happy, you were trying to surrender, wasn't it? And I was just like, okay. That's good. Let's see. I didn't immediately just say, right? And then you became disturbed because I completely surrendered to Him. I gave my life. He didn't respond the way that I would have expected. So now I'm doubting. We can misunderstand anything. Why didn't Krishna make me answer in a different way? Actually, I was feeling in that moment very shy, because I would say this is like a very personal thing, but it was being done in front of everybody. So I just didn't feel like, I feel like it's a very personal thing. And then what am I supposed to say with everybody watching me when you're fully surrendering and accepting me as a guru? How do I answer that question? And then you see, 1-2 days later, now you have doubts. Now you're not sure. Now you're not trusting Krishna, you're not trusting Guru. Now you're back speculating, acting like a jnani, fault finder. Maybe that's why you got the answer the way you got the answer. Think about it. Can it be that we're not perfect? Can it be that we're misunderstanding? Right? Krishna was talking about it's very difficult to understand your reaction. To understand action and reaction is very, very, even the most intelligent person will have difficulty understanding action and reaction. And if you can't understand action and reaction within yourself, how are you going to understand action and reaction within the Guru? Right? It was saying that when Maitreya heard that question, he was like what kind of question is that? And Prabhupada said it's almost looked like he didn't expect that question, and he didn't expect that he would have to answer that type of question. So how do you, if you look at it, you say, wow, somehow this question disturbed him, somehow he didn't know that this person's going to have a question or a doubt. So then, based on your vision, your understanding, you can try to understand why he acting like that, why he reacted like that. You don't even understand your own actions and reactions. That's why I always make this joke, like I don't want to eat like a sweet in front of you because maybe I'm not chewing properly. Or maybe like some crumb is like on my face. Right? Because Maya can make you think anything. So if you're not understanding depending on Krishna and listening to Krishna, that means your mind can literally tell you anything. And you can psychoanalyze the person, the Guru, and psychoanalyze his answers, his actions or reactions, without depending on Krishna. If you depend on Krishna, Krishna will exactly tell you. But we're not listening to Krishna, we cannot hear Krishna, so who's telling you? Maya. And we're sitting there like militant soldiers, surrendered soldiers of Maya. I'm reporting to you today, Maya. What should I think? What should I feel? What should be my emotions? What is your plan for me today? We're supposed to be doing that to Krishna, to Guru and Krishna. And if we're not, we're doing it to Maya. I'm a soul surrendered unto you. Tell me decisively and specifically how you want to bewilder me. What is your plan to bewilder me today? I want to wholeheartedly participate in that bewilderment. And Maya's like, well, since you're asking, cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. And I said, why are you doing like? Because I was thinking, I was feeling. I'm here to try to help you. We need the Guru more than he needs us. We're thinking we're indispensable. Without us, what is he going to do? We're so important. Right? The Guru, he's depending on his Guru and Krishna. You want me to survive? I'll survive. You want me to die? I'll die. You want me to be a success? I'll be a success. You want me to fail? I'll be a failure. What do you think the Guru's like, he needs friends? Maybe he's just looking for like friends. Maybe like we're the family he didn't have. He's got no one else to talk to. So he's just, it's like a therapy session, he's just like, he's talking. He's just talking. We're depending on Guru and Krishna for every word. How do you understand that? Right, if someone says, Gurudev, what does Krishna want me to do? Where do you think the spiritual master is going to get your answer? Oh Gurudev, I need mercy. Where do you think the Guru is going to get you mercy? It's not his knowledge. It's not his answer. It's not his mercy. My Gurudev used to say the Guru is just like a mere pipe. Reservoir of water is there. It's going through the pipe. The pipe never says, I am the reservoir of the water. We're coming in one pipe, going out other pipe. That's all. That's the Guru. The Guru only has one seva, to do kirtan. Now Prabhupada said if you don't do nice shravanam, you cannot do proper kirtan. You cannot speak properly. That's why none of them speak about this. Because they never heard it. And then they said, well, we're saying the same thing he's saying, and I challenge them, where? Where's the lectures? Where's the books? Where's the teachings? Where's the darshans? Where's all your explanation of these tattvas? Show me. And they're not saying because they never heard it. And why didn't they hear it? Because they didn't get Krishna's mercy, and they didn't get Prabhupada's mercy, and they didn't get the Guru's mercy. So if they themselves don't have that mercy, what exactly do you think you're going to get from them? Well, I couldn't get any mercy, right? But I'm going to give you mercy. I'm going to show you how to get mercy. I don't have any. I don't deserve any. I didn't get any. I don't really know how it works. Because if I knew how it worked, I would be getting that mercy. But it says in the Shastra This is how you can get the mercy. How's Krishna going to deliver that mercy? How do you think he's going to give you that mercy? All of the mercy comes through the Shravanam. All of Krishna's mercy comes through Shravanam. Where else do you... Because the Shravanam is what's going to the soul. What other mercy is hitting your body? I'm getting mercy. Like it hit off of my body, this mercy. Isn't the mercy meant for your soul? How is Krishna going to reach your soul? Only through sound, right? Oh, Krishna. I have this verse that I was just reading, and preparing myself, and it's exactly on this point. So I take it that I'm supposed to quote the Shastra to establish that point. You think I'm just making this up? You know, if it happened like once or once in a while, that would be like, okay, it's some coincidence. But every day, every time, like, how is that working like that? I'm not a scholar. Somebody's helping me, right? I must be getting some mercy. And if I'm not getting mercy and I can't get you to understand how to get mercy, I don't want this job. I don't deserve this seva. This is Lord Rishabhadev's teaching in 5th canto, 5th chapter, text 24. And somehow this just came, but you can think about it. The Lord is saying the Vedas are my eternal, transcendental sound incarnation. Therefore the Vedas are Shabda Brahma. So Krishna is coming, the transcendental sound incarnation. So if we're not receiving the transcendental sound incarnation and His mercy, what mercy are you getting? What mercy are you expecting to get? Therefore the Vedas are Shabda Brahma. In this world, the Brahman Vaishnavas, they thoroughly study all the Vedas, and because they assimilate the Vedic conclusions, they are also to be considered the Vedas personified. So it says one who has unflinching faith in Krishna and in the Guru, his spiritual master, bona fide Guru in Parampara, all of the conclusions of all of the Vedic scriptures are automatically revealed to him. So if you are in touch with the source of all knowledge and intelligence in that parampara, that means it's coming in one pipe and it's going out of the pipe. Bhakta Bhagavata, and what is it? Grantha Bhagavata, Bhakta Bhagavata. Now, if we don't have faith in Krishna and we're not depending on Krishna and we cannot hear Krishna, you cannot understand any of this. This will never enter inside of your ear. You'll never be able to assimilate and realize this information. That's why it's not really for everybody. Oh, I need a guru, I need a seva, I need a temple. Okay, all options are there. If you want to hear from Krishna directly in his transcendental sound incarnation, how greedy are we for that? Krishna is the speaker of the Bhagavatam. The Vedas, Srimad Bhagavatam, Shabda Brahma, in this world, Brahmin Vaishnavas, they thoroughly study all of the Vedas, and because they assimilate, they absorb, they digest, they understand it by mercy of Guru and Krishna. When they speak that same knowledge, they should be considered Vedas personified. So when you can hear Krishna through your Guru, then you'll understand how your Guru is the Vedas personified. Such devotees, Brahmin Vaishnavas, are situated in supreme transcendental mode. So in Tamagun, Rajagun, you're going to say, okay, this person's in the supreme transcendental mode, Shuddha Sattva platform. Can you see that? With your eyeballs? If you get the mercy of the transcendental sound incarnation of the Lord, then you can understand it. That's how I understood my Guru. That's how I understood Krishna's using him as purifier medium. Because by Krishna's mercy, I could hear his instructions, just like Sanjay said, because my Guru purified my intelligence, mind and senses, I could directly hear Krishna. Because you're not directly hearing Krishna, then nobody can hear Krishna. Because we're not qualified, nobody's qualified. And you're saying that, well, how can he be qualified? According to my estimation, how can he be qualified? So I'm a madman then, crazy fellow. Then why my Guru, who's a member of Mahaprabhu's Parampara in disciplic succession, why did they accept me? Why did they train me? Why did they instruct me? If I'm so crazy person.
He thinks he's the personification of the Vedas, you know.
Without mercy of Guru and Krishna, without mercy of Krishna and bona fide Guru, it's impossible to understand this. It's completely inconceivable. There's no way you can accept it and assimilate it and put unflinching faith in those instructions. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada said, this is the true description of a Brahmana, Brahmin Vaishnava. One who has assimilated, not in one ear, out the other, not theoretically, one who has assimilated it, realized it. It says here Prabhupada says they have assimilated Vedic conclusions by practicing mind and sense control. So if you fully surrender to Rishikesh, master of mind and senses, you'll get purified mind and senses. Right? Sanjay said, by the mercy of my spiritual master, he purified my mind and my senses. Is there a better way to practice mind and sense control than to surrender to the very personality who's controlling the mind and senses? He speaks the true version of all of the Vedas. What does that mean? Tattva Vichar. He's speaking the true version of all of the Vedas. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Vedaischa Savir Aham Eva Vedya. By studying all of the Vedas, one should come to understand the transcendental position of Lord Sri Krishna. That means knowing Krishna in tattva. It doesn't mean we studied all the Vedas, and then we've come to theoretically understand the transcendental position of Lord Sri Krishna. If we are not getting purification of mind, intelligence and senses by the mercy of Guru and Krishna, you cannot come to the transcendental platform to understand the transcendental position of the Lord. And if you're not coming to that platform, you're not getting that mercy, you don't realize it in tattva, you cannot be a guru. One who has actually assimilated the essence of the Vedas, only they can preach the truth. Prabhupada says he is compassionate to fallen conditioned souls who are suffering the threefold miseries of this conditional world due to their not being Krishna conscious. They're compassionate to conditioned souls who are suffering threefold miseries. They don't even realize they're suffering threefold miseries. We read that yesterday, right? They don't even realize it. Such devotees should take pity on the people and preach Krishna consciousness in order to somehow or other elevate them, purify them and elevate them. Sri Krishna himself, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan, he personally descends into this universe from the spiritual kingdom to teach conditioned souls about the values of spiritual life. And he tries to induce them. He tries to canvass them and persuade them and motivate them how to surrender unto him. How to surrender to Krishna. What is the benefit we get by that surrender to Krishna? And similarly, the Brahman Vaishnavas do exactly the same thing. This person yesterday said, "Oh, I need a guru, and I need to ask questions, and I need answers." I said, "No, you need Krishna. If you don't surrender to Krishna, I cannot help you. Because if Krishna doesn't tell me what he wants you to do, I cannot tell you anything. And if you don't want to surrender to Krishna and you don't want to find out from Krishna what he wants you to do, I have nothing to say to you. Oh, go in this temple and do that service and, be a pujari and go cook in the kitchen in the temple, right? It sounds very spiritual, right? But if that didn't come from Krishna, it's not spiritual. It's not the service that makes it spiritual. It's the faith and the consciousness that makes it spiritual. Otherwise, it's all external. It's materialistic. Wake up. after assimilating the Vedic instructions, they assist the Lord in His endeavor how to purify and deliver conditioned souls. Such devotees are very dear to the Supreme Lord. Due to that seva and due to high sattva gun qualities, they also engage in welfare activities for all conditioned souls in the material world. Otherwise, what, you just give the class and you just say, yes, Krishna is God, you're Krishna's servant, so my advice to you is just surrender to Krishna. Then I'm a guru. You want my instruction? Surrender to Krishna. Boss, I'm done. I gave you the best instruction. So now what is the quality and the quantity of your service, of your surrender? How do you understand how to do that in a way that Krishna will be convinced? We'll all just talk theoretically. You're theoretically praying. I'm theoretically telling. We're all theoretically doing something. Well, we're like playing house, like little kids. You know, I'll be the father, and you can be the kids, and you can be the auntie, and you can be the daughter, and right? And we'll just drink some herbal tea, and we'll sit out on the balcony. So I'll play the guru, and you can just play like disciples, and I'll give some sevas, and you like do them. Like a kitty, it's like kitty time. Playtime. I said, look, if you want that kind of guru, there's a lot of them. Don't bother me. I'm not going to entertain you. I'm not going to pose like I'm going to give you answers to solve all of your problems. Because without Krishna, your problems cannot be solved. If you don't surrender to Krishna, there is no solving your problem. So my telling you this or that, it doesn't matter. What matters is that Krishna accepts that service as a true act of surrender. And then after all of that, then you say, well, what did you mean by convincing Krishna? So you don't know what it means to convince Krishna? And he's like, not really. And I said, well, are you convinced? And he said, not really. Not really. I said, are you really convinced? You're crying to Krishna? You're praying? You know, he said, no, I'm praying to Krishna. So why Krishna not answering your question? If you say, I'm praying to Krishna, maybe you are. Right? I'm not the witness and the judge whether you're praying to Krishna or not. You're saying you're praying to Krishna, you're praying to Krishna, as far as I can understand. And then you judge by the results. Then you'll understand, you'll get mercy from Krishna, you'll get the mercy from the Guru, you'll get mercy from the Shastra. All of your questions, all of your doubts, everything will be cleared. All your anxiety, all of your mental speculation, all of this thing will disappear from you. And then you won't have to listen to your stupid mind. You don't have to be a victim controlled by uncontrolled mind and senses. Any other points, questions? Yeah?
Krishna Maharaj. Those devotees who were in close association with Prabhupada and heard from Prabhupada. And
what is association and what are they hearing? What does it mean to associate with Prabhupada? What does it mean to hear from Prabhupada? If they heard from Prabhupada, they should be speaking this. Simple. They didn't hear it, that's why they're not speaking it. I had one person, he wanted to be my guru. And he brought out some book, and it was a picture of him when he was in college. And he was in the street clothes, and he was walking with Prabhupada. And because he's walking with Prabhupada, this is why I should accept him as a guru. Maybe other people will fall for that, Maharaj. I'm not ready to play that game anymore. So, you know, even Prabhupada said, everybody's saying, Prabhupada said, Prabhupada said, Prabhupada said. Gurudev said, Gurudev said, Gurudev said. Then why are they concocting all of these things? Why are they acting like, Raganuga Bhaktas? Bridge preaching, this preaching, psychology, pranayam, yoga. Right? And some of those people, they had the most physical association with Prabhupada. And they're oh yes, lady can be guru. Yes, this sexual pervert and molester of children, yes, he can be the temple president. So what did they hear from Prabhupada? That's my question. Prabhupada said association means hearing. What are they saying? What are their instructions? What is their emphasis? That's what has to be understood. Who associated? Who's hearing? One pipe going in, one pipe going out. What's coming out is garbage. It's like a sewer, a sewage treatment program. It's like manure. That's what's coming out. All nasty things. All speculation, manufacturing, all concoctions, twisting, apparats. That's what's coming out. If that's what's coming out, it means nothing good went in. That's the proof. They have no strength. They have no conviction. Even they don't believe it. Seriously. Guru Maharaj, are you going to take us back to Godhead? One girl asked the Guru, are you going to take us back to Godhead? He's like, I hope so. Boy, he said, boy, I hope so. Right? Ambarisha was there. I was sitting like, this is going to be really interesting, man. Because this is one of his disciples. We're just sitting there. And she's saying, you're going to take us back to Godhead, right, Guru Maharaj? And I'm like, oh, this is going to, I can't wait to see how he tries to answer this question, you know. This is going to be a classic. And he gave us a classic answer. Classic. I'll never forget it. He said, boy, I hope so. Now, if you're a disciple, right, and you're like shaky, and you're like trying to have faith, and you're hoping this guy is a guru, and you ask him a question, and he says, I hope so. That's what I'm hoping. Knock on wood. We're all going to go back to Godhead? Knock on wood. Or they'll say, oh, Kyana. Right? And then they'll say, I am such a humble, fallen soul. I'm just a parrot. When Maharaj was saying, I'm just a parrot. And I said, Maharaj, didn't Prabhupada say, don't be a parrot? He said like 6 times in the class how he's just a parrot. Right? And I was like, I couldn't help myself. I'm like, I gotta ask this Maharaj question, you know. I was trying. You know, the first few times, then he started getting puffed up like he's a proud parrot, you know. So I said, this proud parrot needs to like come down a little bit, you know what I mean? He's like a puffed up parrot, you know. It's one thing if a parrot's like, they're not my words, but I'm just repeating. Right? This is a puffed up parrot, man. So I said, you know what? I'm going to ask this parrot a question. And I raised my hand, and everyone's like, oh my God. You know? I said, Maharaj, I just heard you say that Prabhupada, or you were saying that you're just Prabhupada's parrot. And he's like, yes. And I said, but didn't Prabhupada say, don't be a parrot? And he was like shocked. You know, it's like the bird is on some kind of a branch, you know. That bird was like upside down with it like hanging on. That proud parrot was like hanging on to his parrot perch. He lost his parrot perch. Wah, wah, wah. Then he was a humble parrot after that. Then he's like, you know, look, I'm just saying, you know, I don't know, I don't realize it, I don't know anything, I'm just kind of saying it, you know. At least he's humble now, right? At least he's an honest parrot. If you're going to listen to a parrot, he should be humble and honest. There's nothing worse than a puffed up parrot, you know? He's just like telling you, you know, you're not vacuuming properly. You know, you're not doing this properly. You know, the parrot's like puffed up, like telling you what to do in your house. Are you still sleeping? You're still sleeping? What kind of parrot you got? You'll be like trying to sell that parrot. You'll be like opening your doors and like, fly, fly. Go to a better place. This puffed up parrot. He's telling me stuff I don't want to hear. So how do we get onto these topics, man? Oh, you were asking. Who you were asking, right? Let's first define what association means. Let's first define what hearing from Prabhupada means. You see why definitions are important? Our Gurudev used to say, yes, you're associating the mosquito, he's associating with the Guru. He used to call mosquito. He's sitting on the arm of the Guru, but just biting. So he's associating, but biting. So what is association? So?
They were empowered to...
What?
Were they not empowered to help Prabhupada and open temples and...
He's saying, but they were empowered to do so much for Srila Prabhupada. So how to reconcile that?
Okay, there's people building temples here. There's people building buildings here. Does that make them pure via mediums of God? If someone can organize and raise some money and build a temple, does that make them, a pure via medium of Paramatma, of Krishna? They have that ability. They maybe have some Shakti, some knowledge, some ability materially to organize. So Prabhupada just using them. Right? Then you build all of these temples, right? Then these people they're going to leave their body very soon. And then hopefully every new generation becomes more pure. So maybe some pure devotees, after a couple generations, will end up living in those temples. Right? If those temples are there for hundreds and hundreds of years, and then devotees who are doing service in Mahaprabhu's parampara, right? They have maybe 2-3 births left. They'll be born back into that movement. Then you need a temple. The temple is there. So they get some credit. They did some pious thing. Somehow or other they tried to please Prabhupada. So they get some mercy. They get some credit. Right? But what else did they do? Here's a bogus philosophy. Let me change the books. Let me get you engaged in the bridge preaching program. Right? So then they're giving you all the things that Prabhupada said don't do. So anyway, Prabhupada, Krishna will weigh and measure the pros and the cons. And they'll decide. Right? They'll add it up. What good things did you do? And what serious mistakes and aparads did you do? And actually it says, if you commit Guru aparad, Vaishnava aparad, it's like Hatimata. It uproots all of the plants, whatever you did even was bhakti, uproots it. So it's not even that, it's all weighed and measured. That the Guru aparad, Vaishnava aparad, that keeps you from benefiting whatever else you previously did. That's why the Durvasa Muni, right, such a great powerful mystic, right, yogi, he lost everything. No one could help him. He could not be benefited in any way except getting chakra chasing him. That's some kind of mercy. Because that chakra forced him to realize, what mistake did I make that I have this chakra chasing me down everywhere? I must have done something wrong. Right? If you turn around and there's a chakra following you, it's probably not like a good sign, you know? We're so dull, we're just like, oh, it's keeping me warm. Because now Mayapur, it's getting a little cold. It's a chakra, Baba. You can't handle that kind of heat. It's not like warming your toes. Yeah, nice chakra right about now. I saw one little video of in the Ukraine, and then these Ukrainian soldiers, they're all sitting in some like bombed out place. It's freezing cold. Everything is just mud and ice and water, and they're just sitting next to some like little fire, and they're just trying to get some kind of heat from that fire, and they're freezing to death. And they're saying, if we survive this, we are going to kill this Zelensky, and all of these generals of the Ukrainian leadership, military, that put us into this hell. And they're on the video saying, because they're suffering so badly, and they're so freezing, they're ready to die, and all they can think about is our president and our Zelensky and our so-called generals. They put us into this type of condition. So when we get such a reaction, we're gonna understand, okay, why is this happening like this? And in that case means we are responsible. Now, how do you get out of that? Right, you can say, well, I have a theoretical plan. I'm theoretically surrendering to Krishna. I'm theoretically doing devotional service because this guru gave me a job, some seva in this temple. Okay, you have the temple, you have a guru, you have a name, you have the dress, you have the seva. What's the effect? Is the chakra still chasing you? Is your anxiety and disturbance and depression and pain and suffering, is it still chasing you? That's when you realize, I don't need a theoretical answer. I don't need a theoretical seva. I don't need a theoretical guru. I don't need no longer to be a theoretical disciple. It's not working. And if it's not a chakra chasing you, what's going to make you realize what is theoretical and what is real? So you judge by the results. If you're happy with your results, what are your results theoretical also? I'm theoretically peaceful. I'm theoretically, my mind and senses are theoretically purified and controlled. And because of that, I have a theoretical happiness. So you're happy with everything theoretical and sentimental? You like that result? That's a food for your soul? Then go for it. No one will stop you. So he doesn't want to convince Krishna, he doesn't want to really hear what Krishna wants to instruct him, but he just needs a guru who will just answer some questions. I said, go over there. There's plenty of gurus there who will answer your questions. They might cost something, but they'll answer your question. I cannot answer your question. I'm just going to give you an answer because you have a question. You're asking the question because you're suffering. You're suffering because of your karma. If Krishna doesn't say, if this person does this and that, I'll free him from his karma. I'll free him, I'll tell Maya to leave them alone. If they don't want to do that, I cannot help them. Now what am I supposed to tell you? Well, you know, maybe if you go to the temple and you do some seva, and Krishna has to accept it. And if we don't bother to find out what Krishna wants, how is he going to accept it? That's why Prabhupada said, it's not that you just do any damn thing and say, oh, I did that for Krishna. Prabhupada said, that is not in the line of pure devotional service. Well, I think it should be devotional service. I spent so much time and energy and effort, sweating. I think Krishna should accept it. And maybe it's not complete surrender, but I think he should acknowledge it as if it was full surrender. And he should tell Maya to leave me alone. Because I've deemed my surrender, the quality and the quantity, to be sufficient to get all of the spiritual benefits. And if Krishna doesn't cooperate, I don't want to be a devotee. I don't know if I want to be a devotee. What else are we trying to figure out? This is kind of heavy, isn't it? Wow, I'm surprised.
Why?
Shabala. Yeah.
Why are they allowing persons who are in charge to be abusive?
In charge of what?
In charge.
If you don't surrender to Krishna, Maya's in charge. So what do they think they're in charge of?
In charge of other devotees.
Huh?
In charge of other devotees. In a position of
Maya is now in charge of that person, and Maya is now in charge of those devotees. It's either Krishna or Maya. So where is the intelligence and the information and the strength? Where is it coming from? Is it coming from Krishna or Maya? Nobody can do anything except desire. So is it really that person doing, or is it Maya doing through that person? That's why it says, you want to serve in Krishna's family or Maya's family. You want to serve Krishna's people, followers, or Maya's? You want to be in Maya's family or Krishna's family? They're all just expansions of Maya. It's just Maya coming in the form of your mother, your wife, your husband, your children, your grandmother. It's just Maya personified, coming and testing you. They have no independence. Whatever they think, whatever they're saying, 100% Maya. That's why I was calling his mother, Putana. Right? I said, your mother is like a Putana. At first it's like a shocking. That's my mommy. How can you say she's a Putana? I said, if she supports you to surrender and serve Guru and Krishna, then she's not Putana. If she's competing with Guru and Krishna and becoming an impediment and an obstacle to your surrendering to Guru and Krishna, then she's Putana. Then she's personification of Maya. So then you're the servant of the personification of Maya. Maya has taken control of her intelligence, mind and senses, and instructing you what you should think, what you should feel, what is their plan, what is Maya's plan for you, what is your future, how you can please Maya. And then we become disciple of Maya. If we don't want to serve in Krishna's family, Guru Krishna Samsa, then you have to serve in the Maya's family. So what family do you want to serve in? This is the answer to all of your questions, right? He had so many questions, right? This is the answer to his question. That was his question. You didn't hear it? Krishna or Maya? Sanatan, who is it? Krishna or Maya? If we don't surrender to Krishna, Maya controls intelligence, mind and senses. So who's controlling the intelligence, mind and senses of your mother? So she's completely controlled, she's not really there. This is Maya, coming in the form of your mother. Are you seeing Maya coming when you talk to your mother? Or your grandmother? If they're not Krishna conscious, their intelligence, mind and senses, their mind and body is controlled by Maya. So do they belong to Krishna, Guru and Krishna, or do they belong to Maya? Who are they working on behalf of? Where is their intelligence, mind, senses, plan for you? Where is it coming from? Krishna or Maya? But because this bodily platform and bodily relations are so strong, we're not seeing Krishna, we're not seeing Maya. We're just seeing mommy, daddy, honey. Yes, honey. And that's why those mothers, family members who are in Maya, that's why they're trying to break our relationship in serving in Guru and Krishna's family. And then Maya gives you all reason why This is not your family. These are not my family. My family is in nowhere. My family is in Siberia, Estonia, America, Kazakhstan. So, who do you want to serve? Huh?
Guru and Krishna.
Then why are you listening to your mind? Why are you worrying and listening to what your mind is telling you? Why are you letting your mind bewilder you? It's actually not very difficult, because if the soul is getting food for the soul, their consciousness, they'll become happier. But when you get food for your soul, you become happier. When you're dark and you're disturbed and you're not happy, it means you're in Maya. So when this person yesterday, when we were discussing all of this truthful thing, he was becoming younger. When I first, honest to God, when I first met him, I thought he was too old to preach to. Because his picture, in his words that he wrote to me, I thought he was much younger. Right? So it's like you use a picture and it's like from 20, 30 years ago. And then when I saw him, I'm like, why did his father come, you know? But then I realized, oh, he's really, really old. So I don't know, like, how much I can really help him. But because he spoke and we spoke in such a way, he getting food for his soul, he was literally becoming younger by the minute. He became like a young boy. You see that? Completely changed consciousness. So, if the spiritual master doesn't have that realization and that understanding, how is he going to help you? That's why you can sit there and look pucker, and you can look nice, and nice dress, nice tilak, nice sari, nice japamala, everything. That's not what the spiritual master is seeing. The understanding by Krishna's prompting, what is our consciousness? And he can understand, just like a doctor, he can understand, okay, this is the symptoms. This person's in a diseased state of mind, diseased state of consciousness. Too much tamagun, too much mental platform. They're sitting and going, yes, 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 but they can't hear anything. They're lazy, they're not serious. They're doubtful, they're criticizing, they're finding fault. They want to fight me, they want to challenge me, they want to defeat me. They want to sit in this chair instead of me. Oh yeah, the Guru can see everything. Everything. Just like you cannot fool Krishna, you cannot fool the Guru. Because Krishna is telling on you. Whatever you think you're privately sitting there with, and only you know what you're thinking, believe me, the Guru knows. Wherever the Guru looking, Krishna is showing him. Just by looking at them. The spiritual master, by Krishna's mercy, can understand everything in a moment. And just because we can't even understand our own consciousness. What to speak of everybody else's consciousness? I asked one devotee preacher one time, how's everybody's consciousness? I was coming out to speak, and he said, I have no idea what is their consciousness. And I said, but if you don't know that, how can you be a preacher? Then you won't understand, what they need to hear. Otherwise, if Krishna is not helping, then how can the Guru help you? I saw with my Guru, every single time I interacted with him, that he knew me better than I knew myself. And all my friends and family, everybody, whoever I thought was in my life, they didn't know me like my Guru knew me. And if everyone misunderstanding me, my Guru not misunderstanding me. He understands me. Nobody understands me. Even to this day, no one really understands me. But my Guru understands me. What do you think? It's like, it's like throwing darts, You think it's just like, let's see if it sticks. What other questions? I'm going to leave sooner, after some days. So, you better pray to Krishna to hear what you need to hear. I used to love every day go to the class. I had so many questions, so I'm praying to Krishna. Krishna, please help me please answer this question for me. And then he's just speaking through my Guru. So every time, every day, I could just get more and more and more faith and understanding how Krishna is using and manifesting through my spiritual master. Because he cannot speak like that unless Krishna is controlling him. There's no way. You think the spiritual master is just like, okay, I have this class, and then this is what I'm going to say, and this is how I'm going to say it. You think it's like that? You really think it's like that regimented? That mechanical? Do you really think this is a mechanic? You think I'm going on some kind of... I don't even know how to explain it. You think this is structured? This is going on according to my structure? Krishna knows what we all need to hear. We don't even know what we need to hear. So we're not coming here saying, okay, this is what I need you to hear. What does Krishna want us to hear? That's the topic. That's why every time I always say, what is our topic? I'm praying to Krishna. I have different idea, different thing I read, different aspects of what we're talking about, what we're studying. Okay. Now it's up to Krishna to give us some indication of which part of that, all of those topics should we focus on. What do we really need to hear? So we're depending on Krishna, and we all need to hear Krishna, otherwise what's the point? I speak like this, it's okay, that's his opinion, I read it in a different way. That's his truth. That's his definition of Guru Sadhu Shastra. Different devotees have different way of presenting. What else? Anything? You're awake now? Awake? Good? You still happy? This guy is so heavy, he's expecting us to be happy. This is horrible. He's like so demanding. He's like expecting us to be happy. It's ridiculous. Who does he think he is? I'm not going to be happy. We're so rebellious. We're like, we just want you to be happy. It's like, well, I don't want to be happy. Okay, be miserable then. Just don't do it in front of my face. Do you ever have people, family, friends, right? They're miserable and negative all the time. Right? Do you love hanging out with those people? Are they like the most happy people you want to associate with? They're disturbed, they're mental, everything is negative, they're never happy. Everything's a problem, nothing's good enough. Grumbling and complaining. Right? How much you're chasing to go get their association? Oh, I can't wait till this person contacts me. Right? You're like hiding. Like in a cave somewhere. You know, somehow, you know, I left my phone somewhere, you know. And they're like, you didn't call me? Why are you not calling me? Why are you not contacting me? I said, did you call me? Oh, you're calling me? And you know, you can put like a different ringtone for someone who's calling. Right? So someone who's like really dark and negative and asatsanga, it's like this, like really like from a horror movie. Right? Dark. Like storm, you know, clouds, thunder, darkness, destruction, chaos, death. Like that kind of sound vibration. You know people like that? You want to associate with those type of people? Or how about people who are greedy for power and money and control and advancement in the spiritual institution? We need some, you know, you wake up, you're like, you know, I need some power politics today. I need some association with some gangsters so I can talk about power politics today. Otherwise, I'm not going to be happy. I need like a good dose of, you know, what do they call? Gunda. Yeah, I used to say to some of my godbrothers, you're like Gunda Sangha. It's not even Asat Sangha, Gunda Sangha. And they would laugh. They were laughing. You guys are like gangsters, you know? You're just hanging on to your power, you're doing power politics and all of this dirty business. Politics means all dirty business. oh, I can't. You wake up and you finish your rounds and you're like, okay, I need to get some Gunda Sangha and start. I need to hear some power politics. I need to associate with people who just want to speculate endlessly about Guru Tattva. This is the only topic. Right? Who's a guru? What's a guru? I'm a guru. You're a guru. Nobody's a guru. That's like the only thing you can talk about. Oh, thank God I went to the temple and associated with the devotees. And I always ask, well, what was the topic? What was the ultimate topic? Any other questions before I'm done? Yes? Mataji's getting an earful. A heartful.
Махарадж, спасибо вам за лекцию, за такое глубокое понимание сейчас происходит внутри. Скажите, пожалуйста, вы сказали, что...
Sounds like the lady on the plane when they're landing on Aeroflot. Right? Like buckle your seatbelt, put up your... Right? They're just saying it like... I don't even know what they're saying. I just immediately I start like... Put my seat up, put the thing. It's like the same, they're just reading something. It's like... I just finished my water. I'm ready to hand over the trash. We're getting ready for a rocky landing, you know. Buckle your seatbelts, put on your helmets. Hopefully this thing lands, Then it's all say a prayer, That's the old Aeroflot. When they get up and start leading a prayer, you're in trouble, you know what I mean? Eastern Orthodox, Russian Orthodox prayer. Russian flavor, like, we may not survive this thing, But don't worry, Be brave, be brave. Don't let anyone see you cry. Crying means weakness. Okay, tell me, Mataji. I'm sorry, Mataji. I almost was exhausted, like on the flight, the way it's coming out of the speaker. And it's like I'm always half asleep, and it's like, buckle your seatbelt and put up your tray table and get all the trash, and but it's in Russian. And they're just reading it out of the book, Mataji, I'm sorry. I'm just joking with you. That just really reminded me of.
Вы сказали, что нельзя получать мантру от того, кто привязан к женщине. Это имеется в виду саду. Но самое главное же шаранагати. Мы же не из тела. Если все говорят, что общественные предрассудки, это они все относительные. Это все относительно, мы же не из тела. Может, что значит садху, который привязан к женщине? Как это понять?
The weather's horrible. It's like freezing out there. I'm sorry, Maharaja.
You was explaining that you cannot accept mantra from somebody who is attached to
I
woman.
wasn't explaining anything. The Shastra was saying that. I'm just a parrot. I'm just a humble parrot. Yes, so?
So, how sadhu can be attached to woman? Like how?
They can't, they cannot. If they're not attached and depending on Guru and Krishna, then they're not the sadhu. Then they cannot be preacher. They cannot be a guru. They're in Maya consciousness. Not soul consciousness, not Shuddha Sattva consciousness. So how they can be a guru, sadhu? It's not possible. Is that the question? But now, with that answer, Mataji, what does that mean when I answer like that?
How can we understand if sadhu is attached to woman or not? Because the main thing is Sharanagati, surrender to Krishna. So how we can understand if the sadhu is attached to woman or not attached to woman?
Without depending on Krishna and without being able to get intelligence and faith from Krishna, you cannot know either way. Because we're spiritually deaf, dumb and blind. How are you going to know? That's why my Gurudev used to say the three most important things you need to know about that person, that Guru, is how much faith they have in Krishna. Can you measure how much faith they have in Krishna? How surrendered are they to Krishna? Can you measure how surrendered they are to Krishna? And what is their motivation? Can you really understand what the person's motivation is? So without Krishna giving us intelligence and faith, we cannot understand it. And also you can see by the results. If Krishna is really manifesting there, then all your questions should be answered properly, your doubts should be destroyed, your ignorance should be gone, and your soul should be happy, more happy. So how much do we have faith in Krishna? How much are we depending on Krishna? How much are we able to hear from Krishna? And if we don't have that, it means we didn't get Krishna's mercy. And if we don't have Krishna's mercy, how we're going to understand who and what is Guru? Because that spiritual intelligence has to come from Krishna. So Prabhupada says if one is sincerely, seriously wants to surrender to Krishna, Krishna will know it, and then he'll dictate to you and give you intelligence and faith who to accept as a guru. So if our intelligence and faith is not coming from Krishna, and we're spiritually deaf, dumb and blind, conditioned soul, how are we going to understand? It's impossible. We can't even understand them materially, what to speak of spiritually. That's why first mercy is Krishna's mercy. And then, by mercy of Krishna, one gets bona fide guru. And Krishna will give you intelligence and faith to understand who is his own man. Then that combined mercy of Krishna, mercy of Guru, right? Then you can advance. Does that make sense to Mataji? You see, these people are acting like gurus, and they don't even teach you what is Guru Tattva. So if you don't understand the science and the process of how to get that mercy from Krishna and from Sadhu Guru Vaishnava, and we don't learn how to be dependent on that mercy, then how will you understand anything about Guru Tattva, or Krishna Tattva, or Maya Tattva, Jiva Tattva? That's all fourth dimensional Shuddha Sattva topics. If we're in material consciousness, we're not going to be able to understand it. You'll be on the mental plane. One day your mind will say yes, 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 and the next day the mind will say, I don't know. And the next day you feel positive, you feel like, okay, I got some answer. Yes, 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 is my guru. Then the next day, I don't know. Accepting, rejecting, accepting, rejecting. That's symptom of mental platform. That's what the mind does. It accepts and rejects. But if Krishna convinces you on soul platform, it has nothing to do with your mind. So your mind can say whatever damn thing, stupid thing it wants to say. It doesn't change the fact. Because Krishna already convinced your soul. That's why nobody can change it. So is Krishna convincing us? Or are we doing some mental gymnastics and some, putting blocks together like a kid? Just building blocks. Is that helping? Mataji, don't worry. Krishna, Prabhupada brought you here, and they know you're trying to be sincere, and now they're trying to give you the right information so that everything can be adjusted properly. So don't let Maya make you fearful or put you in any anxiety. Just trust Krishna, pray to Srila Prabhupada to give you shelter and protection while you're trying to understand what is what. Because we've up to this point got a lot of mis and disinformation. And because this is a very, very subtle philosophy, it's not easy to understand it, it's easy to get misguided or misunderstand it. So don't feel bad. Krishna Prabhupada's helping you because they brought you here to give you further information which will answer all of your questions and doubts and give you more spiritual shelter and protection. And that will be undeniable. And that also will convince you. Be patient, trust Krishna, be simple, don't overthink it, and every day it'll get better, better, better. But if we do asatsanga in our own stupid minds, or we hear from other people's stupid minds, then we'll become contaminated, disturbed, bewildered, fearful, and misguided again. All right, are you happy with that answer?
Yes, thank you very much.
Anything else? That's good for now? She's happy. First she was worried, now she's happy. That means Krishna is helping her. Please understand, I'm doing this for, 30, 40 years. I didn't just start this seva like last week. I've been doing this my whole life, to be really honest with you.
Mataji is saying, when you crying, then Krishna is helping.
Yes. That's the point, really. Actually, that brings us back to how did we get so far off, man? How did we go in that direction? Maybe it was all a big mistake and none of that means anything. And now you're like, really? That's why I say, even if I tell a joke, you'll be like, what's the tattva vichara on that joke, That's why I have to be careful. You can misunderstand anything. Yeah. So this was Gurudev speaking in Mayapur, Darshan, February 9, 1993. And I'm so grateful I was there. I'm just happy when I see that because then I remember I was with my Gurudev and I feel like I'm very fortunate. I'm not saying it like, you see I'm in this picture with Gurudev. That's why I'm your guru. That's not what I'm saying. I just remember my guru and I'm grateful that I was able to have his association. And those were some of the best days of my life. So just little brings me back to that. My instruction is that when we have to come to the Dham, Sridham Mayapur, we cannot do any other thing. Only cry and chant from the core of our heart and chant, O Hare, O Krishna, O Rama, please accept me as your servant. I am your servant. Do you understand? This is the essence, right? The secrets of success. Right? When you meet a materialistic person who's very, very successful, they always ask how you became so successful. And they always write a book. Right? 10 secrets, 12 secrets of success, right? And they focus on really, when you boil everything down, what do you attribute really to why you became so fortunate or so successful? And if you just focus 80% of your energy on the secrets of success, then the other 20% information you can just get along the way. Sometimes I think of it like that. Prabhupada said, the secret of success in spiritual life, make the instructions of your guru your life and your soul. Then you get his mercy, you get Krishna's mercy. Automatically. Here Gurudev is saying, I'm giving this instruction. Even if you can't do any other thing. And actually he's saying, we cannot do any other thing. I remember many times Gurudev said, what kind, in Kali Yuga, what type of sadhana can you really do? So do you really think by your sadhana alone you're going to become a siddha? Do we really believe that? So just on the strength of our sadhana, you're going to become a nitya siddha. Gurudev explained that if you don't hear this tattva, what is it, this siddhanta from Tattvavid Guru, Tattvavicha presentation, you cannot chant Shuddhanam. Because you'll not understand it, you'll not have sufficient faith, you'll not have sufficient purification, realization, mercy. How you'll chant Shuddhanam? And without chanting Shuddhanam, you cannot get Krishna Prema. So if we don't understand the tattvas, we don't hear and get the effects and benefits from that Shravanam, from Tattvavid Guru, you cannot get freed from this bodily conception, from this mental speculation, material desires. All of this thing will just haunt you. You can never chant Shuddhanam with all of that going on in the head and the heart. So that's what's required to be able to chant Shuddhanam. Now, if you're crying from the core of the heart, with faith, without all this other distraction and speculation and concoctions and doubts and questions and problems and blah, on and on and on and on, then you can chant Shuddhanam, and the chief result of chanting Shuddhanam, you'll get Krishna Prema, because Krishna will hear the cry of your soul. Only Krishna can give Krishna Prema. So if we cannot have the faith, the consciousness, the understanding, the subtleties, if we don't have all of that, if we don't have the purification, we're not free from the doubts, we're not free from all these anarthas, we're not free from all the impediments and obstacles, how we're going to chant Shuddhanam? And if the whole point is to get Krishna Prema, to go back home, back to Godhead, how's it going to happen just by our sadhana? And chanting a Nama Parad? And wondering, I wonder if there's any potency in this mantra? That's going to get you prema and back to Godhead? Well, I'm chanting this mantra, but God knows if it's connected. God knows if Krishna's hearing it. God knows if it even came from Krishna. It's like someone has you on a long distance call, right? And they're saying, just hold. And you're just holding, right? And there's no one on the other line. Then like after 1 hour, 2 hours, you're like, nobody's even here, just hang up. They got you on this, just, Krishna's on the other side. He's just a little tied up right now. And we're just hoping. And all of a sudden, oh, nobody's there. So Queen Kunti, she says, if you have all this bodily conception, bodily attachments, pride and arrogance due to your beauty and your strength and your knowledge and your family and all of this materialistic thing, Prabhupada said you cannot feelingly cry out to the Lord. How do you cry from the very core of your heart if the very core of the heart is in material bodily consciousness attached to material bodily relations? It can't be both. So as long as these anarthas, impediments, obstacles, attachments, desires is there, we cannot cry from the core of the heart. And just saying in our sentimental, superficial way, well, I'm crying from the core of my heart. I feel it in my heart. From the core of my heart. Okay, maybe it is. Right? But Krishna will show whether it's real or not real. So when this person was disturbed yesterday, and I said, are you really crying to Krishna? He said, I'm praying. But you can see his consciousness is bad, he's disturbed, he's bewildered, he's not happy, he's not in nice consciousness, right? So it's obvious that the results are not showing that we're crying from the core of the heart. So if we want to believe we're crying from the core of the heart, and we're satisfied thinking that we're crying from the core of the heart, then and you're happy with your results, and you don't want anything more than that, then just continue. This is too serious, isn't it? Is this too serious? Is this too serious conversation? Should I lighten it up a little bit? We're good? Is it too heavy? No? I'm preaching to myself. This is how I preach to myself. You just happen to be sitting there watching me preach to myself. So if you also get the benefit out of that, great! Then we can all get mercy. Right? Crying, I am your servant, I'm so far separated from you. I need to serve you. What do you want me to do? Please give me the strength, the intelligence, the willingness, the ability to do it. We're just like, yeah, I'm doing everything. Yeah, I did my sadhana, chanted today, pulled some beads, associated with the devotees. We talked about Guru Tattva. What other tattvas do they talk about? Mani Tattva. Mani Tattva. Power. He's a senior devotee. He's the president. He's the chairman. He's the GBC. Oh. My Gurudev, it says, right, you have to command respect. You cannot demand respect. If you act, in a respectful way, then you'll command respect. If you're not respectful to your Guru's institution, his instructions, his mission, you don't respect that. I'm sorry, I cannot respect you. You speak Guru, Sadhu and Shastra from Prabhupada's books and teachings, then I respect you. I'll respect you. I'll be respectful towards you. But if you're not going to do that, and you're going to just try to use the weight of your position in this institution and demand and expect me, because you were in a picture with Prabhupada 50 years ago, I'm sorry. Not going to happen. I did that before. Everybody's a Vaishnava, everybody's a, everybody's a Nitya Siddha, everyone's a demigod, everybody's everything. I did that until I got educated. Just to be careful, just to be safe. That's when I was simple. When I first joined, I was so simple. We all were. We just coming to the temple to serve God, to serve Krishna. I remember I had the book, Bhagavad Gita, in my hand, and had the address in the back of the book, where devotees, is it? And we just showed up there, we don't know like really anything. So simple. And then we join, and it's like, we're all pure devotees. Prabhu, I'm Mataji. Even the Mataji is like, why do we have to be called Mataji? Why can't we be called Prabhu? Right? I mean, Mataji is like such a respectful term, right? No, I like Prabhu better. I like Maharaj better. Yeah, so now the ladies, they want to be the Maharaj. Right? And then if you just say, well, that's nice, but it's not according to Guru Sadhu and Shastra, it's not, I mean, unless you're like an eternal associate. But none of the previous acharyas have said to do like that. But, if that's what you have to do, then, I'm sure you'll find some follower, some disciple. But it doesn't make it true, it doesn't make it absolute. It's actually apasiddhanta. Sorry for not being enthusiastic. Oh, he hates women. Right? You say, isn't this the complaint? No, he's against women. He's stopping, he's trying to check our power. Right? He's part of the patriarchal, male-dominated. That's how they see you. And then these ladies, right? People went to Moscow, right? You have all these brahmacharis, all of these devotees, right? And you have one Mataji leading the kirtan, playing madanga, with headphones set on, big sound system, and all the brahmacharis are like, all skinny brahmacharis. And I said, the only thing worse than that is if they start doing this whole like dancing thing, I'll lose my mind. If these brahmacharis start dancing like those Matajis, I'm gonna run away. I'm gonna hide myself. And then we went to the kirtan, right? And I'm like, I'm supposed to be like a sannyasi, right? I'm like supposed to like join behind the Mataji. Well, she's leading the kirtan. You know what I mean? I think I went like as far away as possible, just not to be seen. Like, I mean, what do you want me to play wampus for the Mataji? Come on, Mataji, bang that madanga, let's go now. Come on. Really? I mean, imagine some Mataji come with Jaipataka Maharaj like wampers, These things are like this, They weigh like, 10 pounds apiece, I saw Maharaj play this in Atlanta, in Georgia, It's like unbelievable wampus,
And you got this little skinny Mataji, she's like, I'm the temple president here. And all the brahmacharis are like, Mataji, I take the dust of your lotus feet on my head. Are you serious? You really think Prabhupada would be happy by that if he saw that? How powerful these ladies became, huh? Why? Because they said, look at these guys are useless. I mean, let's be honest, it's not all their fault. They said they come, they're simple, they're following these guys, right? They're in charge of the temple, whatever. And after a while, they're like, these guys are useless. They're powerless. You know, if we got to get something done, we'll do it ourselves. You know, we don't need these guys, you know. So do you really think this is Vedic culture? Like this is Daivi Varnashram system? Are these the Kshatriyas? Are these men Kshatriyas? We've been brainwashed, man. Brainwashed. You know, and in the West, you know, they say, you know, you got to call the lady, like the wife, a queen. The queen. Are you serious? Okay, it's one thing you should be respectful and grateful, right? It's another thing, like, you know, like worshiping, like she's a queen. She's the queen. Sergey, I wish I was younger, man. I really do. I'd take some MMA on this guy, you know what I mean? Yeah, he thinks he's a tough guy, you know. I'd love to just take him behind the building, you know. Just to like humble him out a little bit, you know what I mean? Because he's buffed, you know, he's buffed up. So, what to do? Now I'm old, I can't smack him around, you know? So now I have to try to do it like, you know, I'm like disappointed, you know? I'm like, I gotta try to do this philosophically with this guy, you know? He needs like a stick. You know, it's like, you know, maybe I can persuade Sergey. Who else can I offend here today? Anybody? Why are you guys laughing at all of my offenses, man? You're going to go to hell with me. Don't you know that? Now you're smiling. Now you're happy. You're all sitting there like it's the end of the world. It's like the, you know, Titanic is like it's on its way down, and you're just like, you know, which part of the ship should we, what part of the ship should we like find a place to go? You know, this thing's going down, man. Right? He's on the Titanic. I was like, you know, I was gonna get a priest in there just to bless the whole thing. You know? So Maya's got you on the Titanic? Are we that pessimistic? Krishna not going to help you? All right, any last thing? I think I said everything. I think I said too much, as usual. We need mercy. We need help. I'm a Krishna. Tell us what we need to hear. Otherwise, what's the point? So that's what came up. I hope it answered something. I hope it didn't destroy completely your desire to be a guru. Mother Margarita is another, you know, she's a guru wannabe. She's in training, right? And all the other Matajis who are not gurus, but they also want to be gurus? Krishna. All right. I hope you survived the Titanic. Do you know that was a... Anyway, I was... That's a long story. I'm not going to tell you the actual story of who was behind that. You want to know? Yes. Really? Yes. You guys are conspiracy theorists, man. This is problem. I've created that beach. That now you want to know all the inside tattva, you know? You have to come back tomorrow, I'll tell you. I need something to bring you back after every class, you know? I'm like, they come back after this class, I'm going to be shocked. And you guys just keep coming back. Sergey never showed up. His body is here. But he's in, how do you call it? Maya. He's in multi-level Maya. Right? It's supposed to be multi-level marketing. He's in multi-level Maya. He's connected to the person who's connected to the connected Maya, who's connected to the other connected Maya. He's in the parampara from Maya. But everybody got rich before him. So he has this hope that in this multi-level Maya, that he's going to be the one person who comes out successful. And then he'll be able to say, now everyone has to follow me. And sometimes Krishna has to come and re-establish parampara. So if he makes it in this multi-level Maya, then everyone will come and follow him. Then he'll have a nice, what do they call it? The download, the followers, the chela of the multi-level, what do they call it?
Net. He said net.
Net? Yeah, you're caught up into a net, all right. What kind of a net? Looks like a bunch of sharks got caught in the net with you, eating you. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Hari Bol. Jai Shri Guru Garanga Mahaprabhu ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Srila Gaur Govinda Swami, Srila Gurudeva ki, Samaveda Bhaktivinoda ki. No, don't do that. Something's wrong with you. Better? If you associate with spiritual master, devotees, they can protect you. Because when Maya starts to shake you, Maya has covering forces.